Death Note Confrontation. Yes, there is a tabletop game about the iconic manga and anime Death Note. I never watched the anime, but I read the manga and I'm a big fan, so I was really excited when I learned that there was a game about it. Death Note is a strictly two-player game, and it represents the duel of wits between Kira and L. If you don't know the story, well, Kira, with the help of a demon with a strange sense of humor, has received a notebook, and when he writes the name of somebody in that notebook, the person will die. So Kira starts killing people, criminals, thinking that that will contribute to the greater good, but L is a detective who's not gonna take that, who's not gonna be happy with that, and so L is trying to stop Kira. The game is played using these two notebooks. Really nice touch from the point of view of the production. Kira gets their own and L gets their own. And during the game you will hold them like this, so that actually one part of the notebook, one page of the notebook is the board that you're using, and the other one acts as a screen and as a player aid. However, as you can see, there aren't so many boards. In fact, you will want to make photocopies pretty early and or make a laminated copy. Also, the game basically can be played in two versions called Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. Chapter 1 is the basic game, Chapter 2 is the advanced game. You can trigger some extra game effects, but frankly, my group and I prefer the clean simplicity of Chapter 1, and that is what we play. Now, at the beginning of the game, we need to determine who the heck Kira is. Of course, L doesn't know that. So here we have a deck of suspects, and they're coded by letters, you can see. We shuffle these, Kira gets one, and now Kira has learned that he or she is suspect J. Kira then looks at the map and takes this plastic map here, this plastic mask here. We'll look for suspect J because that is who Kira will be. And then using a writing implement of your own choice, you mark that area. Not with this writing implement because it doesn't work very well. Oh, I guess it does. For those who do not know, Kira is a teenager. Kira learns about crimes that he wants to avenge by using the Death Note, mainly through local news. And so that's why there is an area around where Kira lives where Kira can kill a lot of people freely. From time to time, Kira will learn about other criminals too that are outside of that area. And when that is the case, then, well, he can kill outside of that area. During the game, Kira can kill as many people within his local area as possible as he desires, but only 2 kills outside of the local area. As you see, I had to redo this because the notebook, although very nice and thematic, is pretty dark. So actually, when you write on it, it's not easy to see. And even like so, I still had to look very closely, or I can make it like really messy. So this is the idea. L knows that Kira is one of the suspects, and there is an area within which Kira can kill as many people as he desires. Outside of that one, only 2 kills are available. And then the game can begin. Each turn is divided into 2 separate phases. A day phase in which 2 possible crime scenes can be visited by Kira, and L is trying to figure out which one Kira will go to. And then we have a night phase where L manipulates local news. Each player takes one of these tokens, they simply say A and B, and then we draw a card from this deck, which will show 2 possible crime scenes that Kira may want to go to, A or B, which are simply worth different amounts of points. Now, the 2 players will secretly select A or B, and then they will reveal their choice. If the choices are different, L went to a different location than Kira went to, and so Kira gets to commit the crime and simply score that amount of points, and Kira gets to mark that. Suppose that Kira has selected B and was able to commit that crime, then Kira killed somebody who committed the shooting, scored 2 points, and Kira marks this on their personal note. That is for the day phase. Then we discard this card and we go to the night phase, in which Kira will have to commit a crime and L will try to manipulate local news. L rolls these 3 dice that show shooting, stabbings, and bombings. These are the kind of crimes that will happen. So 2 stabbings and a shooting. Now L looks at their map, which of course matches Kira's, and chooses where these are going to be. Say, for example, L says that there's going to be a stabbing in 14. And then there's going to be another stabbing in 19. And then there's going to be a shooting in 3. Now, Kira has to kill one of those people if possible. Remember, Kira can only kill 2 people outside of this region. The options here are 14, 19, and 3. So we have 3, 14, and 19. And Kira decides to kill this one and announces to the player, okay, there's gonna be a killing in 19. Marking that and scoring the corresponding number of points. And now L also knows something about that. Not much at the beginning. As the game progresses, Kira, really the job of L for L is to figure out patterns. Because remember, Kira can only kill 2 people outside of this region. So if there are 3 kills, say if there are 3 kills that are here, here, and here, Kira cannot be one of these people because these people would not have been able to commit 3 crimes here. So on one hand, you have an advantage of spreading out. On the other hand, sometimes concentrating in an area will allow you to exclude other people. Then also we'll get to a point where there may be a quiet night because it may be that Kira has used his 2 free kills outside of his regional area, and so Kira cannot kill any of the 3 criminals named by L, and so Kira says, oh no, tonight's a quiet night, which also can give a lot of information, of course, to L, but cannot be done too often. If there ever are 3 quiet nights, then the trail has gone cold, L has waited too long, L has lost his train of thoughts, and so Kira wins the game. So L must catch Kira and identify the suspect before either Kira scores 15 points or 3 quiet nights occur. As I said, this is the basic version. There is another version in which, oh, I forgot to say something really important actually. I said what happens in the day phase if Kira and L are in different locations, but if L manages to catch Kira, then Kira does not kill the person indicated on the location, and L gets to draw a card from the suspect deck. By exclusion, now L knows that the suspect is not Kira, because Kira, remember, was taken from the deck. And so L can mark that criminal from their own board. So this is how it works. Day phase, they try to either go in different locations, so go to the same location. The reward is a kill for Kira or looking at the suspect card for L. Then L will name the locations of 3 crimes and we take it from there. This is the basic version. In the advanced version, when L looks at the suspect as a reward for catching Kira during the day, then also a number of stars will be produced. They are marked. they are marked here, and that when a line is complete, then L we gain certain advantages. When in chapter 2 Kira commits a killing, and it's a killing where there are apple symbols, then Kira gets to mark apples here, and again, when a line is complete, that will activate certain advantages. That's how you play the advanced version, but that's not the version that we prefer, which is the basic one. Death Note Confrontation, I'll tell you, this game is impressive. We have been mind blown by this one. We have had so much fun with it. Just wow, so much more than the sum of the parts, so much more than what you would expect, or I expected from reading the rules. I thought, okay, cute, a battleship variant with a theme that is interesting to me, and so nice cover, nice production with the notebooks, with the booklets. But then the game turned out to have so much more depth. There's so much more interest in it. The bluffing element, because that's what the day phase is, you only have 50% chances, and yes, you could play randomly, but why would you rob yourself of the joy of trying to read the opponent and try to figure out what they're trying to do? Because of course, if L wants to play it safe, they will always go for the crime that will give more victory points. This is quote-unquote safe, but of course if Kira realizes that, then Kira's always going to go for the other one, and Kira's still going to get some points every turn, so the game is still going to bleed some points towards Kira, and at the same time, L is not getting clues from the deck. And then the night phase, of course, I saw that, we were afraid it was going to feel like irrelevant, but that element of the game, although the game is so weird, each turn is two separate things that you're doing, and yet it works. That element is simpler, lighter, faster, but then you get into the meta game. Kira chose the lowest value the last 5 times. Will Kira do that again? We don't know. That's fun. And then the night phase is when, of course, the main element of the game happens, where you have you have the deduction from the point of view of L. I personally like to play L. I find it more challenging. I think there are more gears to spin and work around in your head to keep you entertained and give you challenges and dilemmas to solve as you're trying to decide how to use those dice. They may or may not be the kind of crimes that are useful for you right now to exploit. And so you're trying to see where to hit, and you're trying to see, of course, and then you have to read the results. As Kira, it may seem more limited, but of course, 2 or those or all of them may be within your region, and so you're trying to figure out which one you want to exploit. Also, remember, you have 2 outside of your region, and so they may seem like a small choice because a choice they only make twice per game, but it is so momentous, it is so important, it can be so useful to mislead L. If, for example, you crossed out a crime within your area, but just at the edge, and then you use one of your free ones early on, just outside, that may really create a psychological effect that you are around that area, and then L may spend a couple of turns scanning that area, which may just be fatal. It's interesting, the game is fast, it plays fast, 20 minutes easily when players know what they're doing, and it mounts so fast, it really gets to where it's good really fast. After 2 or 3 turns, both players will feel that they are in sight of victory, that Kira is just a couple of kills away, if done well, from winning. And L has narrowed down to maybe 4 possible people, but still that's not good enough. It's really, really good. The only complaints I have about the game are about the production. The notebooks are a little too dark, so as you saw, it's kind of hard to see what you write on. You need to use big markers. And precisely because the game is so good, well, then I wish there had been more sheets. You can easily blow through every sheet in the game in an evening. Easy peasy, especially because you get so excited and hooked onto this game. So make sure you make photocopies. Frankly, I wish it had been produced with simply two folders that, yes, have the shape of the booklet, so you can still use them as a screen, but simply laminated, and so it's always the same that you write on. Two of them, one for the map for the chapter 1 and one for chapter 2, so you would have 4 of these. Maybe it would cost too much, but I think it would have been nice. Definitely I'm gonna go and make more photocopies of the sheets here before the next game night, because everybody who tried it was excited about it. Basically, we had on one side of the table people playing bigger games, and on the other side of the table we have people cycling and constantly playing Death Note Confrontation. It's a great game. You do not need to be a fan of the TV show or the comic book, I believe, to enjoy it, because it's just smart and subtle, and it creates a really strong sense of duel of wits, which, if you are a fan of the original source, is going to be even more endearing to you, because it really captures the essence of that story. This is not just a great game, but actually this is one of the most thematic games that I've seen in a long time, that really manages to get to the core of its source material, and to me that is remarkable. Death Note Confrontation, a truly remarkable game.